Hey y'all, what's going on? Thank you for checking out this video. I'm sure you saw that big old spot in the picture that made you click on it. So this past weekend, it was Saturday, October the 19th. Me and my brother Austin, we fished the Mckenzie's bait and tackle at Lake Allatoona. This was, I think, the 7th or 8th stop this year. We fished all over West Georgia, East Alabama. So we fished at Allatoona. Austin had been practicing a lot, and we kind of had a cold front come in. Some things changed the week of the tournament, and we got lucky and caught almost 12 pounds at 1160 with a 4 1/4 big fish. And we're going to talk about the baits we were using today. So first things first, if you watched the video, and if you haven't, I'm going to put the link in the top of the description. First things first, a buzzbait put 3 or 4 of our key fish in the boat that we went in. It caught that 430 spot that we caught in the first 5 minutes. So I'm gonna tell you my setup. So I was just throwing a little white and silver buzzbait. This is a 1/2 ounce silver blade, you know, nothing special to it. I don't modify it anyway. I mean, I literally pull it out of the pack, tie it on, and put my trailer on it. Some people like the Zoom trailer with the toad. I've used it some. I've used a skirtless buzzbait, slide it over the head, all that. I just like this around spotted bass. They're a little bit smaller. I mean, except for that 4-pounder, it was a freak. But generally, when I'm fishing around spotted bass, I like that smaller profile buzzbait. I've got my little trailer. I dipped it in some chartreuse. Not sure if it mattered. It's more of a preference thing. But that's the buzzbait itself. Just throwing that thing down the bank, and then caught, like I said, 3 or 4 of our key fish on it. And then the next thing that's very important, I think it's more important than the bait, is the rod. So this right here is a 7-foot medium heavy rod. Just a standard rod, nothing special about it, like a $100 rod. And I've got a 7-to-2 gear ratio reel. Now here's the thing that a lot of people do different than I do. So used to, I threw braided line, and I felt like I missed a lot of fish or just didn't have a lot of luck. And then I switched to mono, and that was too stretchy, and I think I lost them at the boat because of it. So I saw a Gerald Swindle video, and he said that he throws 17-pound Sunline. That's his line sponsor. He throws fluorocarbon. So I'm like, you know what? I'll just try it. And it's been about 3 years, and I have, knock on wood, hardly lost. I mean, I've probably lost 3 or 4 fish in the last 3 years using fluorocarbon. I have not had any issues at all. The way that I throw my buzzbait, I'm fishing at close quarters a lot of the time. So that I use anywhere from 12 to 15-pound fluorocarbon. I have not had any issues. I just tie a regular Palomar knot to it. Nothing crazy. Like I said, 7-foot medium heavy rod. I got a 7-to-2 gear ratio reel, 12 to 15-pound fluorocarbon, and I'm just slinging that thing out there and reeling it back. Sometimes I'll, vary my retrieve. I'll pop it, speed it up. I might sink it a little bit and let it swim. Like, I'll just do different stuff. But on Saturday, it was just a straight retrieve, and it just so happened that big spot chased it out and hit it, 6 feet from the boat. I'm surprised it didn't short line me. So we were really lucky to get that fish in. But like I said, I bet I caught 6 or 7 on it. And then I know at least 3, maybe 4 of the ones we weighed in came on this buzzbait setup right here. And the good thing about it, we were fishing the Mckenzie's Bait and Tackle Trail. All this stuff came from Mckenzie's Bait and Tackle. Over the last couple years, I've had this buzzbait set up for about 3 years now. I actually just went and bought a whole lot more of these buzzbaits the other day. So he's got a good selection of rods, reels, buzzbaits. You can go check them out. So that was part 1 of our setup, what we were using. And then I'm about to switch the camera real quick, and I'm going to let Austin talk about his setup that put a couple key fish in the boat at the end of the day. All right, y'all just saw Jacob talk about his buzzbait setup and what put that big fish in the boat and 2 other real good ones in the boat early that morning. Now we're going to talk about what I was throwing towards the end of the day, which within the last hour, we had literally less than 45 minutes left, and we culled 2 less than 1.5 pound spots out, throwing a minnow, which a bunch of people is controversial for a bunch of people. They don't like it, but I really don't care. If it's going to put more fish in the boat for me, then I'm going to throw it. So this right here is my jig head minnow. This is a different one. I switched. Originally, I was throwing, a lot of people can't find them, I was throwing a Depths Sakamata shad. This is a little bit different minnow. I'm not exactly sure the name of it, to be honest, but this is what I caught 2 fish. I caught a key 2 1/4 pound spot and another one almost 2 pounds in the last hour on this. Throwing it on an Owner 1/8 ounce range roller head, and I think that hook is a little bit big for this. I like a 2-aught, that's a 3-aught, but I think this head gives it a lot better action in the water, especially for those spotted bass when they're real aggressive. That perfect roll back and forth, they see that, and I really think that helps a lot when they come up and get it. So my rod is Shimano X Pride. This is a 6/8 medium, extra fast. I like to throw it extra fast. I like the rod tip to move a lot more. You don't have to work it as hard to get your bait to move, and it's just a lot easier to move than say a fast or just a moderate. For my reel, just a standard 2500 size Shimano reel. I've got that paired with, I think this is 12-pound braid, and this is an 8-pound leader. Now, Jacob said it, the past 2 or 3 weeks I've been practicing, and I threw a 6-pound leader, and I broke off 2 or 3 times and did not have as much hookups. And I think this time of year when those fish are super keyed in on bait and they are far more aggressive, I don't think the line size matters as much. So I upsized to 8-pound line, especially for my jig head. And that's what got 2 key bites at the end of the day. I think without the spot that I caught, we had 10.5, and second place was like 10 3/4. So it was a real key fish at the end of the day. We were stressing, but luckily found one good spot that had a couple fish moving around on it. And like I said, all this stuff you can get at Mckenzie's. I actually got this reel from there, this jig head minnow, all of the line, everything. Matt up there, he's got everything locked and loaded, ready to roll. Roll up there, tell him what you want, and he's got it. So y'all go check him out. He's got a bunch more stuff coming down the road, but yeah, this is what got 2 clutch fish at the end of the day in. And thank y'all for watching, and we'll keep y'all updated later on.